Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It's lovely to see you all again. As always, I just got to finishing editing my last video, guys. I stuck it on YouTube and I suddenly realised there's one thing I forgot to talk to you about within that video. So I thought, instead of deleting the whole thing, re-recording it and then sticking this in the middle somewhere, I'll just make it its own little video. A kind of an addendum, I suppose you could say. What I want to talk to you about is the leftist reaction to the awful incident that happened in Southport today. And of course, they did not disappoint, as leftists seldom do. They are one-track minded, very transparent, very predictable, and of course, as always, filled with hatred. A lot of them have been saying how awful and abhorrent what's happened in Southport has been today, with the loss of life of kids, them being critically injured, that sort of a thing, which of course I fully agree with them. They have been filled with condemnation for the attacker, saying how we should never see the streets ever again. Yet again, I fully agree, but each and every single one of them always add this little sentence right at the end of what they're saying. They always say the bigots, the racists, the fascists are all fixating on the nationality of the attacker instead of focusing on what's happened with the kids and the adults within the area. Now, that in itself is absolute horseshit. Every right-wing account that I follow has always put the kids first, the condemnation of the attacker second, and then the nationality usually comes in third. They're just trying to be virtuous, trying to make you seem insignificant and evil and abhorrent for wanting to know the nationality of the attacker. A lot of them seem to think it's absolutely irrelevant. You should blindly just disregard what nationality he is, when in actual fact it's not as irrelevant as you might think. Now, let me explain why. Let's just say Tom Smith, for example, from Bolton, committed this awful attack in Southport today. He came down from Bolton in a taxi, entered this Taylor Swift yoga class and did what happened. Now, yes, it's awful. Yes, he should be condemned, but he's English. He can trace his heritage to this country for the last 100 years. Ergo, it is a homegrown crime. It's our responsibility to deal with English crime made by English people who can trace their ancestry back at least a couple of generations. They are English. They are British. Now, let's just say Abdul Mustafa, for example, from Syria, did the exact same crime, but he's an illegal immigrant. Shouldn't have been here. Got in a taxi, went to this event, did what he did. Yes, it's abhorrent. Yes, he should still be condemned, but it's not a homegrown crime. This is an imported crime, and that in itself is a glaring problem on top of the crime that was actually committed. Am I making sense here? We have imported someone into this country who shouldn't be here, and they have killed and injured children. Ergo, it's a double problem. He committed the crime and he shouldn't have been here. Am I making sense? I really do hope I am. That's what I wanted to talk to you about in my last video. Also, one very quick thing before I go, guys. You know Dr. Schaer, that horrible racist woman? I'm sure you all know who it is. She tweeted out how appalled she was by what happened in Southport. That's going through the rest of the year being completely anti-white, completely racist towards white people, yet somehow she manages to buck up and put on some sort of fake display, some fake sympathy over social media. I see her. I see exactly what she is and what she really is. Instead of all this, oh, I'm so sorry for the loss, all this whole caring facade. It's bollocks. She is a nasty, horrible woman. I'm not buying it, and I told her so. Anyway, guys, that's my lot. Please do tell me if you understand what the hell I'm talking about here. Let me know if you agree or you disagree, either way. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit. I'm off to bed because I'm knackered. Cheers.